Item number 12, amend tobacco-free ordinance to include the prohibition of electronic cigarettes. Mr. McIntyre.
Good evening again. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Before I begin, I just wanted to acknowledge two of our commissioners. One of our commissioners had to leave early, but Commissioner Foote is here in the audience with us and Commissioner Shatswell. On behalf of the Commission, I'm here this evening to introduce an ordinance amending our tobacco-free ordinance 9-2.23 of the Yuba City Municipal Code to include the prohibition of electronic cigarettes and waive the first reading. In 2009, the Yuba City Parks and Rec Commission and the City Council adopted an ordinance prohibiting tobacco use in all of our city parks and within 50 feet of any public entrance or city-owned leased facility. This year, in June 17th, the Substance Abuse Coalition, kind of the kids that just came and talked to you, came before the Commission and requested that we add the ordinance to amend the tobacco-free to include the electronic nicotine. At the time, the Park and Rec Commission agreed, had a July 29th special meeting, and voted to bring the request before Council's consideration. The definition of e-cigarette or electronic cigarette is defined as any electronic oral device composed of a heating element or battery which provides a vapor of nicotine or any substance, and the use of inhalation which simulates smoking. Those are examples of e-cigarettes. I'm sure you've seen them around town. You can tell that they are marketed for youth, and it is a concern among many the habit that is creating within our community. Outdoor smoking ordinances are designed to be self-enforcing. I'll show you a sign here in a few minutes that will help park users point and be able to support their effort for the user to not be or utilize the e-cigarette in our parks. Currently, there are 74 other jurisdictions within the state of California that have already enacted this a similar ordinance prohibiting e-cigarettes. That is what the sign would look like if approved by council. So staff recommends, again, to amend the ordinance and waive the first reading. I'll probably take any questions at this time.
Any questions of staff?
Not so much a question, but Mr. McIntyre, it probably stems from my comment that to you stems from attending concerts in the park over at Gaucher Aquatic Park, and the self-enforcement component at a large gathering like that seems to be somewhat non-existent. And what I would like to see is in this dollar figure being able to put up maybe not intrusive signs such as that at Gaucher, but for those events to have at least temporary signs placed out around the perimeter in which people think that all they have to do is walk 50 feet away from the nearest standing person and smoke whatever they're going to smoke. And it would be helpful, especially in those larger gatherings, to be able to have those portable signs, and that would be wherever we have gatherings at.
Temporary signs for special events.
Right.
All right. Any other comments or questions? Anyone from the audience would like to speak on this item? All right.
I just want to add on to thank you for your efforts to bring this ordinance forward. Appreciate that very much with the commission and so forth. This has been a concern of mine all along. So we had a very successful community forum back in April talking about e-cigarettes and trying to bring awareness. So I really appreciate the forthcoming to move forward with this ordinance. I've noticed around town some of our businesses have already made their own signs to say no e-cigarettes or vaping around their businesses. So thank you very much for the efforts to do this. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was behind a car in Starbucks today, and I thought the car blew up. But but the guy was vaping inside
yes,
the car.
Exactly.
And I think one of the absences within state law is the fact he was also vaping with a small child in a child safety seat inside that car.
Yes.
And I think that that's just absolutely appalling when people treat children that way. So.
Absolutely.
And it's just not nicotine, so there's other drugs that are being used through the e-cigarette and the chambers. So this is a very important step in ensuring that we have a healthy community in the future.
All right, I'll entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion to move forward.
Second.
Approve.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.